Welcome to this video and welcome to KSP. Today, for science, we turn Jebediah into a star. He will start to glow from his body because we are trying to go for the challenge that Felix Baumgartner did in 2012, and that is jumping from a balloon at 40,000 meters high and surviving. That's the important part, right? So let's get started with this little rocket that will take us to the height of 40,000 meters. Now with me today I have a guest and friend, Davide. He is an aerospace engineer and will give us some insight on what is going on when you jump from the edge of space.
Hello everyone. Now you can see that we skipped the, boring balloon solution that was used for Baumgartner, and we went straight for a rocket because it's just more fun. And you can see that actually the problem with a rocket is putting it into a stable hover. And now you will see how complicated it was, but still, I guess we succeeded pretty much well enough.
Yeah, that's right, I was hovering the rocket, and now we get out of the ladder, trying to really mimic the moment of truth. So I'm putting the video next so you can compare the two scenes, and in my opinion, these two guys look a bit like Muppets, because they just spin out of control. Because as you may have heard, Felix lost control of his, falling asset because there's no air basically. And so he started to spin uncontrollably and he exceeded the speed of sound. At that height, the air is so thin that it doesn't even slow you down. So we also went to Mach 1.12. That is really cool. It's really cool to see how KSP can mimic real life. Even though it's at an approximate simulation, it's just amazing to see how close we're getting to the real life experience of skydiving from 40 kilometers. Now we're going into the thicker atmosphere. There are clouds, and I don't know why, but Jeb just stabilized falling ass first. So
you can see that once you get into a thicker air, the aerodynamics actually starts to damp the spinning, and so you can see something closer to an actual skydive.
What do you think about this landing?
Okay, let's see. Okay, the climb is not very realistic, but let's see the landing. Okay. I would say it's an 8 out of 10.
That's too generous. I think Jeb snapped his kneecaps and went into hospitalization, but that's the best I could do, and it's time to celebrate with a second jump, because now we're pushing to the limits of the edge of space. The edge of space is 100 kilometers, so I decided to jump from 100 kilometers. Now the rocket ran out of fuel, so as I dropped from the ladder, the rocket didn't stay in place, it fell with me. So we'll see what happens to the rocket as well in this skydive for more than double the height. What do you think about this idea, Davide? Is it a safe thing to do?
Yeah, we can see that already the physics of the atmosphere is pretty different between Kerbal Space Program and the actual world, because here we have like 30 kilometers with completely no atmosphere whatsoever, while in real life, there is always something. But I guess in this case it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, that's right, because in KSP the atmosphere begins at 70k and in real life it's 100. So there's some difference, but I still think that this demonstrates that it is feasible to jump from the Kármán line, and someone should do it eventually. It would be a cool thing. Would you like to try that?
I would leave this honor to someone else.
Yeah, alright. We'll find someone as crazy as Jebediah that might turn into a glowing star. So now we're jumping from 200 kilometers. I forgot to mention that. And Jebediah will sacrifice himself. What do you think about this?
I think that it either boil or evolve into something that we may have never seen, because you can see that, it's pretty much a shooting star already.
Yeah, I think Jeb evolved in a shooting star. We went at Mach 3 and we could see the little hands poking out the plasma ball, but he's alright. The temperatures went pretty high. I think that was like almost 800 Kelvin, which is the limit of the suit, because these suits have some sort of thermal protection. And I think that is the main factor that determines how high you could jump. So 200 kilometers is kind of pushing it, but it's doable. I think a real astronaut suit could do that, because they are built to be fireproof, last time I checked. But still, the fall is very long, and only now, we're in the thicker atmosphere. and we'll see where we can land, because I think we have aimed for somewhere in the middle of the wilderness, in the forest, a bit like the Soviets that tend to land in the tundra and have to survive days fighting bears, you know, with a gun and all that sort of stuff. So I think the parachute, I'm gonna set that opening altitude just to 400 meters to make the dive a bit shorter. Otherwise, we're gonna take 2 days to reach the surface of Kerbin from the edge of space. Am I right? And yeah, we're landing into a forested area. What would you say about this situation?
I mean, considering how we started, I think that would be the least of his concerns. And I would say, I would agree with him that the worst is gone.
Yeah, that's right. I think KSP, once you get with the parachute open, it's pretty safe. And we have this beautiful mod, which is parallax, by the way, for those who don't know it, that gives us all this foliage, this beautiful trees and grass, which isn't exactly scale once you get too close to it, because you realize the grass blades are like the height of an adult, and the trees are like 60 meters tall. But, you know, it's KSP and it looks beautiful. If it looks beautiful, I think that's what matters in these games. I mean, they're all simulations, but for fun mostly.
Yeah, I mean, we can play the card that this is Kerbin and not the Earth, so technically there is no reference we have to stick to.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Kerbin is like 1/10 of Earth in diameter with the same gravity, and that implies the fun fact that Kerbin is 52 times more dense, or 50 tons per cubic meter. Anyways, let's jump from 300 kilometers. That would be a safe thing to do, right?
I wouldn't say exactly so. I mean, I would say so depending on if you actually want to boil him or not.
Yeah, I think we want to boil him. I think we went about like Mach 3.8 last time. That's the speed of a Blackbird. So what happens if we jump from 100 kilometers even higher? Now, for starters, the fall takes an agonizing 5 minutes before we even hit the atmosphere. And we start to notice that our entry speed is like Mach 5.8. That's insane. I don't think there's any aircraft that can even do that. And my computer is really struggling because the frame rate is dropping. I see a lot of plasma. Oh, there's a blue flash. That's not good. I think Jeb died on this one. Let's check. Let's check the heat on the moment of death. That's about 1,000, more than 1,000 Kelvin. I think 1,000 Kelvin would kill anything.
I guess so, unfortunately.
So I would say 300 kilometers is the limit, and I thank you for watching my video today. It was a blast to create these clips. I think we obtained a lot of useful data on how high you should jump before you start to melt. Is that right?
Only on Kerbal Space Program, but I guess don't try it. Not even think of it.
Yeah, don't try these at home, guys. And if you like the video, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see ya.